GM. Today I want to talk about obsession. Something I've observed and noticed is that you have to be obsessed with what you do. But I think it's misunderstood. Obsession isn't staring at the charts all day. And I'm obviously going to talk about trading, but this relates to anything you do. If you want to be the best at something, you have to be obsessed by it. You have to be obsessed about the process of learning and figuring out and understanding what you're doing. And the weird kind of contradiction is that the last place you're going to learn a lot of that is by actually trading. The actual putting money on the line. The obsession should come from a deep-rooted desire to understand, why do markets move? What actually makes them move? What actually is DeFi? What actually is cryptocurrency? What actually is an order book, a limit order, a market order? What is leverage? How do liquidations work? How do the flows work? The mechanics. The core of the machine, what makes it all tick. You don't need to learn all those things I just listed. You need to have a general obsession with your industry. No distractions. One track minded. Be obsessed with it. Almost to the point where you're possessed by it. It should almost drive you to the point where you don't want to gamble. Meaning, and you have to understand this, you're not becoming obsessed with making money. If you're obsessed about making money, go do sales. That's my advice. If you're obsessed about figuring out this game and how to beat it, in the best way you know how, the last thing you can think about is money. You've probably had a feeling in your life where you just want to do one thing to the detriment of everything else. You just neglect everything else to do this one thing. You look up and it's fucking 11 p.m. and all you've done all day is this one thing. Think of a time you've done that. For many of you, it was probably today, or this week, or a month ago. And for many of you, it wasn't a productive thing. It might have been playing video games, right? That's a big one for a lot of people. Think of that obsession. We've all done it. When I was a kid, I'm not a big gamer at all, but when I was a kid, if I ever played, good luck. That's the next 15 hours straight, just gone. So how can you sit in front of a game? How can you play Call of Duty or Counter-Strike or whatever? How can you play that for 15 hours making $0? Just playing people online. In fact, spending money, right? On skins and map packs and shit and stealing your parents' credit card to fucking buy some bullshit. But how can you do that and yet not sit for 15 hours a day studying the markets without putting $1 on? Can't you channel that gaming energy? Maybe you weren't a gamer. Maybe you're obsessed with football or fighting. Again, zero money. Zero money on the line unless you get to a professional level. But you didn't start there. It all started with just doing the thing. Just being obsessed with how can I perform better? How can I punch better? How can I kick better? How can I play better? The best in every field, I mean, you hear this and it's a cliche, but they're obsessed, right? They are. And you hear it and it's sort of shallow and it's like, yeah, but what does that mean? It means you have to be absorbed in the market. Or sales. Or copywriting. Whatever it is you do, be obsessed with it. Now, if you're juggling both, if you're working on cash flow and you're obsessed with the markets, look, I understand. You want to be a trader? You're obsessed with trading? Okay, great. But if you need to make money, make sure you have that in line. I'm not saying be obsessed with making money. If you're going to work a job, work overtime, do sales, do copywriting. If it's not your true love or true passion, that doesn't matter, because the way you make money, right, your cash flow, is not the sexy way, right? It's working bullshit jobs. It's doing things you don't necessarily want to do, but you have to do because you need to make money. Or if you're fortunate and you have a talent for business and you have an entrepreneurship streak, you can get obsessed with building your copywriting agency, obsessed with building your e-com store, obsessed with your content creation. All the details. Imagine you're in Pope's campus doing content creation. The details of how to create the perfect piece of content, even though there's no such thing. You have to be obsessed. I genuinely think that's the closest you can get to true peace as a man or a woman, anyone on a mission. I can only speak as a man. The closest you can get to true peace is deep obsession with your craft, whatever that craft may be. You get to a point where nothing else matters, time flies, the day is gone before you know it, but you didn't waste it. You got better, you improved, you understood it, you were playing a productive game. Think of that time where you just played video games, bullshit all day, but channel that and take that and turn it into something productive. You all have this. It's inside every one of us. This is a human trait. You're not special. You aren't the guy, I don't have obsession, I does nothing. Bullshit. Everybody has it. You have it. You need to channel it. And yes, you can have it in multiple areas. You can have an obsession with making money and with the markets. You can have an obsession with building business and still spend your time researching trading and crypto. If you say you can't, you're coping. You're trying to make yourself an excuse so you can just focus on gambling all day. I'll say this again. If your obsession is with making money in the market, that is not an obsession with trading or the beauty of markets. That is an obsession with gambling. That is a negative on your life. That is just as bad as spending all day playing Call of Duty. The obsession must be with the game. How does it work? How do I figure it out? What is this thing? Why does this happen? Why does it move this way? Why does this news affect it, but this news doesn't? Why do these concepts matter? Why do they not matter? Obsession, obsession, obsession. You should be relentlessly searching for deeper understanding. And guess what? Sometimes there's no answers. If you're constantly focused on finding the perfect answer, you're never going to get anywhere. Sometimes you'll spend 6 weeks deep in a subject, as I've done many times. Students always ask me about Elliott wave theory and all these other trading concepts. I've studied fucking all of them. Basically all of them. Very few I haven't. Most of them I haven't even looked at or loaded onto my chart in 3 years. And I spent weeks in them. Was that wasted time? Absolutely not. Look how valuable it became for me as a teacher. Look how valuable it is for me knowing what not to put in my system. If you're truly in this game for the love of it, no expectations. No expectations of money. No expectations of what's going to work, what's not going to work. You simply do it because that's the process. Obsession.